I just woke up, just finished hygiene and shit. But I really wanted y'all opinion on this shit. How this shit look on me, vibe? How this shit look on me? Am my shit hitting? In the mirror, it look like my shit hitting. When I look at it, that shit, in real life, that bitch hit. But on this camera, I don't think this. Oh no, that bitch hit no camera. That's dispersion. It's looking kind of nice. I don't know. So I currently got all my P80s right here in front of me. And I just wanted to say this message in this video when it comes to handguns. These is one-handed guns. They're not intended for you to use the sights. Really, it's one of those pull and then start banging type of thing. If you ever in a situation where you need to be using some, where you even get time to really use sights, you probably in a situation where you should have a rifle. And if you don't have a rifle for some reason, then you probably shouldn't be in that situation. Because you offensively got time to go after the person. I don't see a situation as normal unless you're a police officer that's killing civilians. Because why would a police? It'd be very obvious if the police was just going around with assault rifles pointing them at civilians, which in cases they actually do, which is why it's such a problem with police these days. But yeah, these is not guns that you're supposed to be relying on that heavily. That's for your primary. Maybe something like my AR-15 that I have here that accepts standard 30-round magazines, 5.56. Now I am going to upgrade to a 7.62x39 primary for the simple fact that I just want more power within the 200-yard range. And of course, the closer, the more power it has. And the 7.62x39 round outperforms the round that my AR-15 has, which means, I should probably change rifles. And instead of getting an instead of getting an AR-15 that's chambered in an AK round, I'd rather choose the round and choose a new gun when I do that, because it's a design difference. The AR-15 really can't handle steel case ammunition without, incurring some issues over time. And with an AK, it's a lesser chance because it was kind of designed to be ran cheaply and made cheaply as well. So, yeah, just about handguns. Just supposed to boom, 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 boom. Say for instance, your primary run out, you're in a bad situation, or you down, you just get the draw, or you drop your main primary rifle for some reason, something happened, you trip up, somebody come off the hill, boom, 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 boom. If you get a chance to do this and stare down and get it right, because that's why the dot is so small. If you get a chance to stare down, you might be doing something wrong. Nah, I ain't no fool, bro. This shit right here, clear as day. A camera. This a police state. This a fucking police. This is a clear indicator of a fucking police state. What the fuck? Oh yeah. This shit looking vicious. I don't even know what the fuck this is, but it's part of the problem. What the fuck is that? Is that solar power? That look like solar power. For a fucking camera. I got my meal down to the last 7 minutes. These wings that I just see, these fries are still frozen. But this lunch, gonna put it in. My wings, they was just cooking. I took them out before they finished, 7 minutes early, so I could put the fries in there, and then I can get everything back at one time. Salt and pepper. I just put my wings back in for the last 7 minutes with the fries. Okay, so this is a video about how to shoot the best way in self-defense, which is more than likely with a handgun. Cause niggas don't have handgun training like that. They just got handguns. And they got Glocks swearing to God that, you know, they got some shit. Well, they got some shit because it's a Glock, but it's the best secondary in my opinion. But I don't have that much experience with that many secondaries. A little bit of shooting I did growing up, 940s, 45s. There's too many guns out there to say certain stuff, but I just trust my life with Glock. That's me. But unless you Master Chief or motherfucking Tom Cruise from Mission Impossible or motherfucking Keanu Reeves from John Wick, unless you John some imaginary character shit I've been just doing out extravagant 100 lives chances type shit, then you gonna need to know this. And it's actually very simple. First thing is, you draw your gun, understanding of having awareness of where your bullet gonna hit when your gun is at the hip. Understand how tall you is. Understand that when you shoot straight, the bullet can only hit so many places in the general vicinity of your height. So if you got a box fan it's about as tall as where your hip is at, when you hip fire, if you squeeze in the direction of that fan, you're gonna hit the fan. wherever your aim is, it's common sense. You just gotta become aware of how tall you are and the muscle memory of coming from the hip like this. Second part is, until you get super experienced, regardless of what, you always gonna have to shoot straight from the hip in self-defense. In a real self-defense where you saving your life, you always gonna have to shoot from the hip. But when you take it a step farther, after those first couple of shots, you're supposed to stretch your arm out. It's a one-handed gun, so you stretch out one arm and look directly behind the gun. You don't have to use the sights. Just make sure that the gun not doing this, gun not doing this, the gun not doing this, or nothing crazy. Just point it straight forward and keep squeezing. God gonna do the rest. It's a handgun. When you hit the handgun, the forces make the gun want to do a full rotation. That's why when you hit the handgun, it does this. The barrel inside of most modern semi-automatic handguns kicks upward. That's extra force for the rotation. The bullet is going out. The bullet is going this way. The other forces is forcing this way from in the chamber. All those forces is pushing on the chamber. The same forces that make the barrel go back. When it goes back, the inertia from all of that makes it does even more rotation. So it's the barrel spin, is the slide kicking it back, and it's the actual pressure from the bullet forces that help the slide cycle bullets. So the gun is going to try to do this. Every time you pop it, it's going to do this. So using these sights, these tiny sights that only waste your time and going to get you shot up, go ahead, try to use them. You in the self-defense, you're going to get shot. And I got night sights on mine. You can see them glowing green. Aftermarket. And they got a Glock logo on them. Yeah, mine is got that. And I still don't use them. The only way I be using these is if I'm in a situation where I got the ups. I see them before they see me, and all I got is my handgun. You might see me squint Get them sights lined up real nice, stiffen up my wrist real nice, and try to get as much of that it's like a punch. You know how when you punch, it gotta go straight from your knuckles to your elbow. That's the only way to stabilize. Your wrist might be bent forward a little bit, but the punch gotta go straight through here, the energy. Gotta go straight through here, all the way through your arm and into your elbow. Same thing with shooting. You wanna get as much of that recoil to go into your stiffened up wrist and transfer as much of that into your elbow as possible. Stiffness. But that comes with time and experience, comfortability, muscle memory, and just repetition when it comes to shooting. So I just want people to know that these right here is not primary guns. If you only got one of these in a 30 shot and a switch, you was in a bad position. You need to go get you a full-size AK-47 7.62 chamber so you could shoot steel K7.62, some of the cheapest high-performance ammo that is out there. You're gonna want an AK. I'm getting started with my day, and then I was thinking about flock cameras, and then I realized that I've been seeing flock cameras. It's the funny little thing with the solar panel just sitting at the top of the pole. That's a flock camera. And I've been seeing them for a while, so this ain't just started. They just now bringing it out, but them little solar panels been everywhere. Just a random stick with a solar panel at the top. Flock camera. So apparently the National Guard is in Memphis. Okay, now you can read this, but I want to get specifically to the controversy part. Local leaders and activists have filed lawsuits to block the deployment, arguing it violates state law, while state officials argue it is within their authority. And this is just getting at 11th Amendment immunity that the states have to say, okay, we're going to let the feds bring in some people. So, and as he says, it's within their authority, the state, through the 11th Amendment, and they could just bring in people through the sovereignty of the states.